Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, I want to talk about attaining your desire. Attaining your desire. And that desire, be it you want to become a billionaire, a millionaire, you looking for a partner, you desiring a house, you desiring a car, whatever you're desiring in life, there are rules to the game of life. I'm going to walk you through for you to become a millionaire or for you to attain your desire or for you to achieve whatever you want to achieve in your life. But I want to tell you, it is possible. If you can follow what I'm going to lie to you here, I can guarantee you that you're bound to be successful. You're bound to be a millionaire in no time, But the caveat is you must follow the rules because there's rules to the game of life. Me myself, I still follow these programs every time I want something, every time I'm going out for something that I desire, that I want in my life. I follow the same procedure of visualization, imagining, seeing it done, and following these procedures and believing that it is done, and that settles it for me. All I've got to do is to be patient and open my ears, my inner ears, to receive instructions, and don't doubt any instruction I receive in terms of, where to go, who to contact, or who to talk to, or who to connect with, So, but you must be very, very sensitive. You must be very, very open to inner suggestions and not doubt or instructions that you may receive. First of all, for you to begin to desiring anything or for you to want to attain success or acquire wealth, fear must be entirely banished from you. You must be yourself and you must understand the law of visualization. You must understand how to visualize. You must know the law of visualization. You must understand the creative process because there is a creative process in everything in life, in every endeavor, in everything. Think about one thing that doesn't have a creative process. If you want to marry, there's a creative process. If you want to have children, there's a creative process. If you want to create anything, there is a creative process. Likewise, if you want to be successful and if you want to acquire wealth, there is a creative process to follow. And if you can follow those creative process, I can guarantee you that success is bound to follow. Because the law of the universe cannot be altered. Or let me put it this way. Why the law of the universe cannot be altered? Can be made to work under specific condition, thereby producing results that cannot otherwise be attained. In addition to that, you must also understand that your mind is a center of all the power there is in operation, waiting to be given direction. And the only way it can take specific form or action is through your mind. Now, let's take a step backwards because I want to talk about visualization. Whether you know it or not, we all visualize. I'm going to come to meditation part of it because that's where you need to do stuff, but I'm just kind of laying the groundwork for you. Now, whether we know it or not, we all visualize what we want. And since you visualize, whatever you see in your mind, whatever you imagine, know that that is reflected in the universal mind. And through the natural law of reciprocity, it must return back to you in either spiritual or in physical form. That cannot be broken. So the law of reciprocity must go into action in your behalf. And the awareness and understanding of the law of reciprocity opens you up to all you want to be, to all that you desire, to all that you want to have. The circumstances of your life are not created by some external forces, but as a result of you exercising your right of choice, okay, or your power of choice. You get to remember that. And therefore, remembering that you derive your power from the originating spirit of life, you, as a man or a woman, you are just a channel in which the originating power itself reacts. Therefore, whatsoever you think and believe, the originating spirit or power within you is bound to reproduce. Picture your affairs, how you want them to be, although invisible to the physical eyes, but lives in your picture. Knowing in your mind is a projection of the originating power which is divine in you. Train yourself to visualize, because if you understand the power of visualization and imagination, this will attract to you, this will bring to you whatsoever you need and desire. It will increase your resources in triple-fold, because visualization and imagination places things in their natural order. In the natural order, they place things. That's how it operates. Because everything in the world, everything on earth, everything in the universe have been placed in their respective places. Likewise, and that is why your thoughts proceed, comes and go. Your thoughts are never static. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can learn the power or the art of visualizing or imagining and believing in that visualization, imagination, that is already a fact, it's already accomplished, it's already been reached. You've already realized that, you've already owned that, you've already achieved that, whether it's either getting a job or buying a car or buying a house or becoming a millionaire, a billionaire, or having that spouse that you want, that man, that woman, or that girl that you want, or whatever it is, or even your children, it will come just the way you envision it. If it's a house, you have to go and grade it, but I'm coming to that. What you need to do during your meditation, I'm coming to that part. What you should do during your meditation. Meditation is not half an hour, 20 hours, or whatever. There's just a minute of silence. Maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes max. That is when you have to reconnect yourself to the divine, to the infinite, and then unleashes the power within you. But I'm coming to that later. Visualization or imagination is the great secret of success. If you can practice these arts, they will bring to you greatly multiplied resources. The power within you is undifferentiated. It's undifferentiated spirit or substance of life. Your thought mode gives shape to those substances. Visualization is condensing power within you. The infinite, or God, made humans to differentiate himself. The law of differentiation brings to us all that we have or all that we want, and all that we enjoy today is the law of differentiation. That is why, look at different cars, look at different planes, look at different buildings, look at different clothes, look at different shoes, shoe size or whatever, look at different utensils at home, look at different appliances at home, look at everything is different through the power and the law of differentiation. So first, the idea from the hat on your head, to the shoes on your feet, the things in your mind then solidify as it comes to life. They all came out of visualization, out of imagination, and believing in that act of imagination, because the believing is where the answer is. You can visualize, but all of us will visualize every day, but not many of us believe in what we're visualizing. If you want to create the most successful company in the world, you cannot be visualizing failure. You have to visualize how big that company is, how the world is, and how it has taken all over the world. You have to visualize positivism. If you want to succeed in sports, whatever sport that you participate or that is your profession or whatever, you have to visualize that you are the most successful person in that sport. You have to see yourself successful in that sport, or a winner, you're winning all the games and stuff like that. Until you have that mental capability, until you visualize yourself and imagine yourself lifting that trophy or winning or getting that job or being with that man or that woman or living in that house, driving that car, flying that plane, being on that vacation to that island or that city or that town or whatever, or helping that person you want to help, bringing joy or smile, happiness, kindness to somebody else, until you can see it in your mind's eye. First, I tell you, they will never see the light of the day. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's a simple thing, but it's an art that needs to be mastered. You must master it, how it works, but also there are rules. Because, for example, you cannot be imagining yourself to be successful, but at the same time wishing a successful person a failure or envying a successful person. It doesn't work that way. You're breaking the law. And remember that any law that you break, there's a consequence. Just like a physical law that we have, if we break it, if we say don't drive, if you live in a country that says don't drive on the right hand side and you drove on the right hand side, you'll be punished. If you live in a country that says, like here in the West, or you must drive with driving license. If you drive without a driver's license, you'll be punished. The law says don't steal, and you go ahead and steal, you'll be punished. The same thing applies to the spiritual laws. We're governed by spiritual laws every day. Nothing can prevent your picture or pictures from seeing the light of the day or from becoming real, except the same power that gave it birth, you. You can only prevent it, you can only stop it from becoming real with your doubts, with your fear. Okay? That is how the picture mode that you visualize or that you imagine will not see the light of the day. The originating spirit of life is finding new expression and potentiality that already existed within itself. You must know that. It's not new. And that's why I read a book that says, that the divine created the whole world or the whole universe and erased it. So everything has already been created. There are no times to visualize. You can visualize or imagine all day long. I visualize and I imagine all day long. However, I meditate twice or three times a day. And that is just 10, 15 minutes meditation where I try to reconnect myself to my source and to the power. Then that is divine, the power within me. So, and the best time to meditate is usually before 6 o'clock in the morning, before the noise starts, before there's so much noise that will begin to distract you. You want to do it before folks begin to wake. And also before you retire at night. I always do it sometimes 10 o'clock, sometimes 10:30, sometimes 11 o'clock. Yeah, depends, But before I retire to bed, that is when I meditate. And this is what I do as well. When I start to meditate, the first thing I do is I ask myself, after being grateful, I begin to ask myself, how do the things about me first came into being? Ask myself, the things I see around me, the house, the bed I'm lying on, the clothes, the blanket, the duvet, everything around me, everything I see, my phone, everything around me, myself, my being, how they first come into existence. That's what I ask myself. And if they came from somewhere, if everything around me came from somewhere, the phone I'm using, the laptop, the house I'm living, the blanket I'm using, the bed I'm sleeping on, the food I just ate, whatever, the television I'm watching, everything around me, everything I can see, all the pieces of creation around me, if they came from somewhere. Now the question is, how may I easily and quickly get in touch with invisible supply? How may I easily and quickly get in touch with this invisible supply? Because if everything around me came from somewhere, and obviously they didn't fall from the sky, because I read a book that says manna fell last in the wilderness, and it hasn't been programmed again that it's going to fall again, that we're just going to wake up in the morning and walk down to somewhere and begin to pack things, So if they came from or came out of somebody's mind, how do I now, me myself, get in tune or get in touch with that invisible supply? Now, after asking that question, then I will now go back to the spirit behind the things around me, behind what I desire, behind what I want, and behind everything I see around me, and begin to establish it as a fact, within me, that the same spirit of life differentiated itself in the person that acquired wealth, that differentiated himself in the billionaire or millionaire, or the person that brought my phone or brought the bed I'm sleeping, the blanket I'm using, the shoes I'm wearing, the clothes I'm wearing, the suits I'm wearing, the house I'm living, differentiated himself through the minds of these people. So must also, if that is the case, then it must also work in me in the same manner. It's just the way it is, because it's not impossible that, I came from a different source. We all came from one source. You understand what I'm saying? So What I would encourage you is look for look for a successful person, a millionaire, a billionaire. Look for the things around your house that you can relate to and establish it as a fact. Go behind the spirit or the principle behind them and establish it as a fact in your consciousness. Establish it as a fact in your consciousness that the spirit of life differentiated himself in these people and brought and came to life, by solidifying himself through the belief of someone, into phone, into anything in your house, into somebody who became a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever. If you can do this thoroughly, if you can do it thoroughly, you will find yourself in deep consciousness. If you do it thoroughly, you will find yourself in deep consciousness beyond your own thought power. If you can really go behind the spirit, behind the principle of the things that you desire or the things that you see around you, the power back of them all. And if you can do this thoroughly, you will find yourself in deep consciousness of your own thought power. Then open up. Then once that happens, try to breathe fresh air. That's what I do. Try to breathe fresh air by either open up a window or try to find some fresh air, and breathe the power of the universe. Breathe the power of the divine in you. Try to take about 5 to 10 deep breaths, and just inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth, 10 times. Now, as you do that, begin to see, or you can cycle, you can imaginary or visualize it, but you can try to cycle around you the universe. Draw a round cycle around you, imaginary cycle of light around you. And as you stand there, either as you do that in your bed or as you do that standing along your window or whatever, or your door, or in your living room or whatever you're doing, or you're lying in your bed. Now, begin to see yourself, begin to see that imaginary light that you've drawn begin to enter your body, then begin to breathe slowly. Begin to breathe slowly as you connect to the divine. And you can begin to say things like, I'm connecting to the divine, I connect to the power within me, and I connect to the power within me. And therefore, as you begin to make your affirmation that you're connecting or you've connected to the divine, and you and the divine are one, because I read a book that says, I am my Father one. As you begin to claim that you and the divine are one, and that you have the creative power of the divine, you have the mind of the divine, because you are that you are. I am that I am, because the divine became man or became woman, so that man or woman can become him. You understand what I'm saying? So when you can connect to that power within you through your affirmation, now go back and sit. You can sit upright or you can still lie down when you do it, as long as you don't sleep, And now you can say to yourself, as you begin to say those words, until the truth of what you are affirming begin to become real to you. You can begin to feel them. You begin to feel what you are affirming. Then you can begin to say things like, there's no limit to me. The best there is. The best there is for you. There's no limit to you. There's no limit to you. The best there is for you. Now, once you begin to connect, once you come to that level of connection, right? Once you come to that level of connection that you can feel around you, now immediately begin to picture, begin to visualize that thing that you want. If is it a wife that you want, is it a husband that you want? Is it a house that you want? Is it a car that you want? Is it money that you want? If it's money that you want, see the amount in quantity. Know how much it is. Don't be vague. If you want a house in your imagination or in that in your visualization, you know, enter the house. You know, it doesn't matter, whatever. Enter the house in your imagination. See the windows, see the kitchen, see the bedroom, see the pool, see the garage or whatever. Feel something. Have a sensation, feel a sensation in you. If it's a man that you want, see the kind of man, how he smells, how he talks. If it's a woman that you want, see how she walks, how she talks, how she cooks, how she laughs, how she smells. If it's a car that you want, enter the car, see how, begin to feel, begin to smell the odor or the smell of a new car. Begin to have that smell, how it feels, how it smells. Because when you open a new car, there's a way a new car smells. I don't know how many of you have bought a new car, And if it's money that you want, begin to feel the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Begin to feel the money in your hand, because that's the way money feels when you touch it. Begin to have that feeling, have that sensation in you. If it's a job that you want, see yourself in your imagination, see yourself in your visualization, how you sit on that desk, how you sit in your office, how you're working with your colleague, or how you calling the shots. See yourself in that position. Begin to see those things, those tasks, those things, the people that are connected to that role, to that organization. If it's a role that has to deal with a CEO or CFO, or is the role of a CFO or CEO that has to deal with other stakeholders or shareholders or whatever, begin to see yourself in your imagination carrying out, or in your visualization carrying out those tasks while you're doing this. And if it's a travel, you want to travel to a place, see the country, see yourself already in the country, walking from one part of the country to another, talking to locals and interacting with locals or whatever. You begin to feel the sensation that's associated with that thing that you want. Okay, you may be doing it. You may fall asleep as you do this, but don't worry about it, because it's good that you fall asleep. Because once you fall asleep while you're doing that, your subconscious mind picks it up. Your subconscious mind picks it up, because what you've done, you've silenced your five senses as you go to sleep, as you go to the womb of creation. Because when you fall asleep, you're going to the womb of creation. So once you've done all of these, believe the act that you've just performed that is real. Believe it that is real. And I can guarantee you, it is sure. Whatsoever you visualize, whatsoever you've imagined, whatsoever, I can tell you that is bound to be reproduced in this sphere of earth, on this sphere of life. It is bound to come to physical manifestation, as the sun is bound to shine. There's no two about it. The only thing that will derail it, the only thing that will make it not to come to pass is if you doubt. It's your unbelief for what you've just done. If you doubt it, I'm sorry, you have to start the process all over again. Also, another thing that will make it not to come to pass is when you become impatient. Don't be impatient. Try to exercise patience a little bit, and give the universe, give the divine time to work out, because it says the vision is for an appointed time. There's time for everything under heaven, if you believe it. So don't doubt it and don't be impatient.